Hey everybody, and welcome back to Greatest Good Tarot. Hope you're doing well and keeping out of mischief. This is basically a bully. Bullying is what's been happening. For the new boys and girls, they're like, what's going on? This is a predictions reading concerning the furore that is going on here in the United Kingdom concerning what they called Arla. What is it with companies that have really stupid names? The makers of Lurpak, Cravendale, all that sort of stuff. Milk, basically. We're talking about milk. People are adding, or they're planning to add, or are about to add, a type of additive in the feed of the cows to make them stop farting as much because of greenhouse gases and all that crud. Let me just peruse into the glorified Excel spreadsheet for a second. The peruse of who's suggested this reading, and you can suggest future readings down in the comments down below and upvote on them and stuff like that. This is just an example of bullying. This was suggested by Jackie, Somerset Girl, Luna Rose, Wheelhouse, Fiona, Janet, one of the two, or we don't know which one it was, Sarah, Kaz, Ethia, I believe is how you pronounce it, and 115 upvotes. I'm just saying, the evidence is there. Bullying, they're all bullying me. So we're doing a predictions reading into what's going to happen here, because they've I've just noticed in the last day or so, or yesterday, they were Arla. There we go. We'll just make it Starmer say it. Working people. Arla is the one. Not to be confused with Ula, which is from Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. Very different. Very, very different. So yes, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to look into this, what's going to happen, and this is why I've decided to do it as a predictions reading, because I feel like this is going to go into kind of 6 months, kind of, and beyond period. This is going to be an ongoing thing. Indoors is all over this. I mean, they have taken this and run with it. They are like, we can't get there's a nice yogurt I like occasionally to get at Aldi, right? And we were just in there in the last couple of days, and I was like, I just fancy getting my yogurt. Oh no, you can't get that. Why can't I get that? Oh no, they're Arla supply Aldi, so we can't, and they supply Lidl, so we're not doing it. And I was like, where are we going to get our milk from and our yogurts and all that kind of stuff? Oh, we'll have to get it from Sainsbury's. They're supplied by Muller, as if they've got they've worked it out over that. They've got like like one of those drawing pin boards with the red with the red wool kind of string between photographs and documents and stuff on their wall. And they're like, no, that's the only way we're going to get now. That's it. I was like, all right, fair enough. You do you, boo. All right. And then I saw how much it was for my yogurt, and I was like, not very happy, but we paid it. We still, And can I just, because I'm bearing in mind this evening when I took a quick little break, and we're talking about cows and milk and that kind of thing. Throughout all of this, because I watched on Amazon Prime, The World According to Kaleb from Clarkson's Farm, his kind of like one-man show thing, which was a bit hit and miss throughout. But the one big fact that I got away from that is it costs dairy farmers 35 pence to create a litre of milk. But they get paid by the supermarkets and all that kind of stuff 32 pence per litre. So they're making a loss of 3 pence per litre of milk that we consume in the UK. How's that fair or right or any way? So instead of fondling with the feed of the cows and all that kind of stuff. Can we just, because they're still selling it in the supermarkets for £1 or £1 whatever for a litre, or a pint of milk, or 4 pints of milk is like what, £2? Because we get the filtered milk because it lasts a bit longer. Because obviously we're off grid, so it's just a safety kind of like a back, just in case there's something wrong with the battery banks or whatever. It lasts a bit longer because it's been filtered. So yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, can we just pay our farmers a decent wage instead of you kind of like forcing them to do more crud that they don't need to do? Just asking for a friend. Anyway, so let's have a look at this. Maybe there's a petition in that. So here we go. Arla, how's this going to go? Predictions reading, please, for Arla and the feed to sort out the cow farts for the greatest good for all concerned. Thank you. Always be appreciative. Very, very nice indeed. Just as a reminder, because some people don't seem to have found it, we're having a tarot advent calendar this year. We've only been around for about 2 months, but we're doing it right now. It's day 3. You've missed quite a few up to this point, right? Okay, 3. But I mean, like they're released every morning about 8:30, 8:15, something like that. So go and check it out. It's a random person every day, celebrity, politician, whatever, and we look into predictions of 2025 for them. It's just a bit of fun. It's just something, and no one knows who it is, because that's why you've got the kind of random silhouette. You don't know who you can guess who they are, and then you can go in and then find out if you were right or not. It's a bit of a game of a game of a game. It's all good. So security cameras. Interesting. What else we got here? There's in the dark. Stock up. We keep getting that. Someone's going to resign. Someone's going to resign over this. It feels as if like the CEO. This feels like the next Bud Light boycott, because I tell you what, I have not seen her indoors over something like this normally. We're normally kind of we're very much you vote with your money, that kind of stuff, and it's normally kind of a chilled, relaxed. Oh, we're not buying from them anymore. We haven't been to a Mackie D's in like 4 or 5 years, or stuff like that. We just don't want to do it. And it's just one of those things where but I've never heard so much passion. It's like, I can't even quote the things they've been saying. But yeah, the security cameras it feels interesting because it feels like a investigative journalism type malarkey on that one that's coming through. Been left in the dark. They go, oh, but the EU has permitted it, and the UK has permitted it, and this, that, and the other. All the things and my bobs and stuff. Why don't we just try and get to purity, more pure food than crud in the food? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be good? But it feels like this CEO, somebody is going to get in. Going to be chucked out over this. Corrupt dealings. We've got surveillance again. Security cameras, surveillance, someone on the record. Planned outcome, though. That feels a bit odd, that one. Feels a bit odd. Good outcome, though. Okay, good, nice. And we've got someone holding power. This feels as if the government's going to step in to try and but it's going to be fake news. Okay. This feels like the holding power card here. Doesn't feel like the CEO. This feels like government kind of try and get a cheap win. Oh, we're gonna start working people. We're gonna stand up to do this and the other for the farmers, all this kind of stuff. Even though they've screwed over their inheritance and all that malarkey and but we're going to stand up and like, no, you don't have to put food, like this fertilizer, blah, blah, blah. Even though the science says this, science. Overarching energy. There's a secret. There's more secrets here. There's something like this feed, or there's something similar to this feed that is also going to be pushed out. That's what they're keeping quiet about. Underlying energy. This is the bombardment from social media and stuff like that. This has been coming up for a lot of things. And this is what we keep saying. Pluto into Aquarius, people taking control back, people calling people out, people of power out at least. They're not fighting amongst each other as much. They're kind of like putting all their blame, quite rightly, in the places where it should be. And that's kind of this new way of doing things. It's lovely. It's lovely to see. But yeah, the fake news here, there's this spin. I think this is part of let me just see if I've got the tab up again, because it was just such a funny term of phrase what they used. No, I don't think I have. But it was just like, there's no need to worry, that kind of stuff. There's no need to be concerned. It's all good. And it's like, yeah, we've heard that before on multiple times. And this reminds me, I know it keeps going back to milk and things like that. I'm sure my mum, because who really listens, because when she gets going, you know what I mean? And this is years ago. She was telling me about there was a contamination in breast formula milks that I'm mixing. You may notice I'm not like into that kind of thing. I don't know. But I think it was like follow-on milk, kind of formula milk. There was a contamination that kind of caused damage or something to people, to young kids, obviously taking it. And there was a drug, could follow the science, that then kind of some babies were born without limbs and things as well. And it's like, follow the science, and people wonder why, in these places, that no one trusts them anymore. Do you see what I mean? It's that kind of energy. I'm keep getting those kind of energies there, that it's just like people have had enough. Less contaminants. That's what we want. But the holding power here feels like holding court. Holding like the government decreeing, it's like, okay, we won't have this. And it's like, no, we want none of it in. Nothing. Zero. High fructose corn syrups, all that kind of stuff. If you can get rid of the blue Smartie for 10 years kind of thing, because of E-numbers or whatever, then you can sort this shenanigans out quite easily. But there's a lot of evidence here. There seems to be an exposure or something going on. Right, now we've got the baseline reading for all the new boys and girls. This is the foundation of the reading. We can then level up, okay? We can build it up. So here we go. So what's going to happen here? So we've got this is kind of the background noise, the background energy to things. People trying to... This planned outcome here feels like putting the food. It does feel like they're gonna. It's already started, or it will be started, or that kind of stuff. I think the farmers are going to listen to the farmers. I think some of them are going to start yelling out, going, "No, we're not going to put it in." That kind of thing. Like I said, they're making a 3p loss for every pint of milk. Sort it out. Sun card, happiest card in the deck. Ooh. I tell you what, I love that, because especially when that's darkness, things happening in the background, especially when this is kind of illuminating the darkness. We've got the security cameras here, this journalism, the evidence, that kind of thing. We've then got the happening in the darkness, the illumination of it. Everyone knows about it. Star card, divinely guided. This is what I sometimes call the North Star, heading in the right direction. Yeah? Beautiful stuff. We've then got the King of Pentacles over the prepared, stocking up kind of energy. This is, for me, what I was saying about kind of holding everybody to a higher standard within corporations and business and stuff like that. Because part of their quote from Arla was something like, our primary concern is obviously our customers and the well-being of animals. And it's like, when I read it, that was absolute BS. Your primary focus as a company by law is to make a profit for your shareholders. That is your primary function. What absolute spinnery of massive magnitude of gumph that was. That's the reason why I kind of almost rage quit the the tab. It's like, they're talking rubbish. So let's have a look here. 9 of Wands. This feels like the Wounded Warrior, the CEO, the company in general. They're very much kind of Wounded Warrior, trying to persevere through. This reminds me the same energy as Bud Light, Target in America. What's the motorbike one? Harley Davidson recently. John Deere, is it, with the tractors in America as well? There's a few of them that have gone kind of like Bunny Floppy is woke in the recent period of time, and similar kind of cancellation stuff. It's not cancellation, it's just people voting with their money. That's what the whole purpose of an open market. This is what's happening. People voting with their money. Vote with your money, my people. My people. You're all mine. But no, it's it's that kind of energy, yeah? Right. Good. Knight of Swords rushing in. Truth, knowledge, wisdom, information. This feels like more data points, more people sharing on social media, stuff like that. This is what I keep on saying. Pluto in Aquarius, yeah? At the moment, Pluto, was in Capricorn? Is that right? So, but that was like big business, big pharma, big governments, big centralized powers, yeah? And that was for the last 25, 30 years or so. Well, no, about 25 years, 20-ish years. Now they've moved, Pluto has now moved into Aquarius, and YouTube still doesn't work out what we're actually saying, which is then all about taking control back to the little guy. Small business, small government, small pharma, more control, that kind of thing. And what we're seeing now, and this is just across the board around the world, is the fight over the powers. Once you put it into context, and this happens every 250 years, the last time it happened was independence of America, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, that kind of thing. And it lasts for about 20 odd years. Once, and just as a prime example, just as like Exhibit B, I'm still right thinking that the French Revolution was about 4 or 5 years after the Americans kind of did their thing. The Americans did it and was in when Pluto Aquarius. French Revolution failed because it was then Pluto had moved on and the energies had changed, and it was this window of opportunity. This is what you're seeing. The start of this control taken back. The start of people holding, all these individuals to account. It's that kind of thing. So the Knight of Swords here, more information, more data, more like other foods being put in, or feeds or mixtures and added to other feeds, maybe in poultry, in pig, in that kind of thing. I feel like this is a domino effect that's going to start cleaning up the farming industry, and in the sense of purer, richer foods, proper foods. And once again, this is feeling great because it's not aimed at farmers, because it's being decreed to them by corporates. And that's where people are going to, once again, focusing on the right people to slap to sort them out. And that's what I love about this. So far, it's all been the correct the buck ends at the correct place, if you get me, right? It's not been fighting with the little guys and amongst ourselves. It's straight to the people in control. Sort it out. Your but science. No, sort it out. We don't care. We don't want it. We don't want it. Stop it. So that's that. Right. Ace of Cups. This is the bright idea. This new compassion with the new ways of doing things. Exactly. Justice. Truth. Balancing of the scales, balancing the books, balancing just generally there. Gorgeous. There's heartbreak and sorrow. What is that on? Heartbreak. That's going to be on good outcome. The heartbreak and sorrow is the corporations, is the people not, the milk is not going to be sold. I'll tell you now, the milk, it's just going to sit there. The amount, because we, in the last 24 hours or so, we've done our kind of like 2 weekly shop. What's that word? Fortnightly shop. That's it. I know words. Shut up. Shh. And basically it was, we were like pottering around Sainsbury's because obviously we're not allowed, we got bits and bobs from Aldi because of like the dog food and the cat food and stuff like that. But by the end of Aldi, because we weren't allowed to buy anything of certain things in certain places because they were indoors keeping the check and stuff. By the end of that, we were like walking through the car park and was like, there's no point going to Aldi anymore because we can't buy anything. Because we're boycotting it all, mostly. But when we got to Sainsbury's, a majority of the milk, maybe it was the time that we got there, but a majority of the milk section was empty for us. Like, people were, like, stocking. It was like everyone was going to, like, and that was within 2 days, 3 days, people finding out that who to go to and who not to go to kind of thing. This is the sorrow here, the upset. That kind of, they're already seeing it in their bottom line. They need to kind of start getting rid of the stuff. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. The messenger card here is beautiful. One of the extra 4 cards in this deck. It's what we can call the Epic Arcana. And this is all about, we will be seeing divine signs, nudges, downloads, kind of repeating numbers, synchronicities, that kind of thing, kind of white feathers and white butterflies if it's the right time of year, that kind of thing, just to show that we're heading in the right direction and we're on the right path and all that jazz. The amount of repeating numbers I have seen in the last week, it is absurd, the amount of numbers. Like, I'm not even looking for them, right? And suddenly it's like, gooey! The amount of quadruple 4s, 6 4s, 8 4s on a page and stuff like that is just absurd. It's just getting to the point where it's just like, I don't even want to look anymore. It's that kind of energy. We're on the right path. We're protected. We're doing the right thing. We're heading in the right direction. It's like the spirit guides are around us to so we're all right. 9 of Swords over the fake news. I want to clarify that one before we go on to the next level. That feels off. Ace of Swords, once again. Truth, knowledge, information, breakthrough. People rolling back. Okay, we won't put the feed in. Okay, we'll find another agenda, another way of doing it. It's that kind of energy, but it's not gonna be enough. I don't feel like this is going to be one of those situations where once people decide that they're going to get their milk elsewhere or go directly to a farm shop and get it there or whatever it may be, the damage is done. And notice how we're going round industry to industry, different places, different things. As a community, we're all just going, no, enough's enough now. That's it. Beautiful. Beautiful. I hope personally, I hope that we disconnect the kind of high fructose corn syrup and that kind of thing out of it being considered a sugar, personally, because I believe it was, and prove, if I'm wrong, please tell me in the comments, but I think I'm right in saying about 10 years ago now, maybe, it wasn't considered a sugar. And then they changed the rules because of science. And then it was basically now considered a sugar. And then what's happened in the last 5 years? Oh, no, we need to cut down on our sugar intake, blah, blah, blah. No. We just need to stop using things like high fructose corn syrup and go back to natural sweeteners, natural foods. Apple has sugars in it. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Stop making, oh, I'm going off on one. I'll shut up. Let me clarify the 9 of Swords. But I'm sure it was about 10 years ago it happened. And then Jamie Oliver popped up and went, oh, we need to stop this the sugar, and then sugar taxes and all this kind of stuff. Meanwhile, if you just eat sugar beet and eat natural foods with sugars in them, you're all right. It's, what I mean? Oh, wow, that'll bend that one. Cool. That was violent. I've made a cardboard seesaw out of it all of a sudden. Right, overarching energy, being mumsy. Oh, lovely. What have we got here? Okay, the Queen of Pentacles, Hawk Lady in reverse. We bent it, darlings. We bent it. Let me just, bearing in mind, we don't judge. She can be whoever she wants to be, but it was me being forceful and So, 9 of Pentacles in reverse. This is not where they wanted to be. Clearly, this is not the garden they wanted to build. Yeah. We outrank them. Notice that. If you've been here long enough, you know that I read the tarot, that there's 3 empresses in the deck. Okay. There's the 9 of Pentacles, which is the baby empress, which is primarily about kind of inwardly kind of feeling proud of yourself, but not from a negative ego point of view, kind of securing yourself inwardly, feeling good about yourself, that kind of stuff. But once again, not arrogance, not ego, just, wow, look what, empowerment, I suppose. Yeah. And then you've got the Queen of Pentacles, which is about outwardly, look what we can achieve, what have we produced, kind of being mumsy to the world, looking after everything with lots of Tupperware involved. That's basically what the Queen of Pentacles is about, lots of Tupperware. And then obviously the Empress herself, not only as all 4 queens, but actually it's the balance between inward security and outward security. That's basically what the Empress is. So the fact that the company, which is now in this 9 of Swords energy, worry, anxiety, angst, kind of, oh crap, what have we done? They're in this pickle, it being 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Hawk Lady. Ace of Swords again, truth again coming out. Overarching energy, Queen of Pentacles. This is us, the community standing up, outwardly wanting change. Yes? So it works beautifully. They were inwardly looking, oh, this is going to put up profits and we can make things better and it's going to be cheaper and this, that and the other, and it's going to be inward for them as a company, ticking lots of boxes, blah, 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 right? But actually, they're now in a pickle. They've painted themselves in a corner. So they've got to make a decision. Yeah? Right. So, final deck here. So what advice have we got? Okay, what advice can we have, please, as a community, as this is going? Because they're screwed. As an organisation, they're screwed. And it's not just them. The Justice card does feel as if there is going to be possible filings of stuff as well. But primarily it's a rebalancing of fairness and truth and kind of a just way forward. But it does feel a little bit kind of paperworky, which does kind of imply also an actual court case eventually. But yeah, no matter how they can spin this, and notice this is what I keep on saying. This is why you need to get on an alternative social media, is primarily because, and it, I wouldn't suggest TikTok. I suggest Twitter and X. Link to ours is down below. Same place that you can join our Village Elite members here on YouTube to get extended, extra videos and stuff like that. But that is where true information comes. Because look, let's be very simple. Starter and Starmer can't move anywhere because of social media, people holding him to account. Now, Arla can't do anything because they're stuck because social media holding them to account. It's like every which way, it's the same thing happening. And that is like the game changer here. That's what I'm really excited about. They're stuck. 8 of Swords. In their head, they're stuck because the Sun card, their bad deeds have been like the floodlights are on. We see you. Yeah? Queen of Pentacles, the same thing again. Yeah? The community looking outwardly. This is the change we want to see. Sort it out. Hermit, we keep getting this as well. Once we've won this, where else do we need to look? What other changes do we need to make? What other situations do we need to think? Because once again, and I'll say this and I'm probably going to get in trouble. It was very interesting upon reflection during lockdown is that I was noticing for a good 18 months, 2 years prior to lockdown, because a certain word is kind of dodgy here on YouTube to say, but about, I would say 18 months, 2 years, people were becoming very, they couldn't trust or they didn't trust experts, bunny floppy ears, especially after Brexit, things like that. Experts were saying you this, that and the other, scaremongery. People are worn down and they didn't believe any expert. Yeah? Didn't matter who they were, apart from Martin Lewis, money saving expert kind of person, everybody else is like, we don't care. Oh, and that John who does all the election nights, the one with the silvery hair on the side, a bit bald on top, glasses. That professor fella. He and Martin Lewis are probably the only experts that this country truly believe in. Everybody else, they screw them. Until lockdown came on, and then all of a sudden, everybody trust the experts. And it'll snap back. This is, again, we don't trust you anymore. Yeah, look how far you've got taken us again, and it's a snap back. But the Hermit is looking for more injustices, more tomfoolery, more shenanigans, different departments, different areas, and stuff like that. And this is where it's starting. It's starting again. This is what, they are the 3rd or 4th reading similar to this, where it's always been Queen of Pentacles, outwardly looking, then the Hermit, to kind of what else needs to be sorted out? What else needs to be held accountable? And there's the challenges, looking for the new challenges, 7 of Wands. Okay, this feels like once we've decided what the next challenge is as a community, off we go. And the next community, the corporation is now on their like worrying. Yeah, panicking, trying to work out what to do. The Moon, more secrets. Queen of Swords, trying to, cutting out the BS. Queen of Swords is a bit of a knee-jerk reactor sometimes, so we have to be a bit careful as a community about that. But overall, unbiased, can be a bit cold, but is very kind of to the point truth. We do not want this. Stop it. Sort it out. Oh, but reasons and science. No, we don't, brother, we don't care. Stop it. That's it. Same with the inheritance tax, same with the farmers' inheritance stuff, the pensioners, the student fees going up, the everything. Stop it. That's all you need to do. Stop the boats. Stop it. Yeah, that's all they need to. But it's almost as if they've got a bet amongst themselves. Is that how long can they do stuff before acknowledging the things that actually people want them to do? It's just at that point. But the world New cycle. This is it. People holding them to account. Chariot moving on. The devil. Ooh. Reviewing what is next. Magician putting the action in. Progress. Seeing the progress. Moving on from this devil here feels like the next. It feels as if it's like Arla or Ula, depending on how Ula, they're stuck in the mud, panicking, don't know what to do. Looking out, outwardly, trying to build a better society, because experts has got us to this point. We don't agree with them anymore. We're actually wanting to take it back to a better time. That's basically what's happening here. So the next challenge is coming up. Finding out what else is hidden in the darkness, cutting that out, new cycle. Then the community, once again, chariot, moving on to find the next evil happening. Yeah? Seeing how the previous ones are doing, seeing how it's all this kind of reviewing, reflection, moving on to the next one, that kind of thing. This is the domino effect. We're living it, baby. We're living it. And this is just not going to stop now. People are holding, finally, the dormant, quite like sleepy, the sleepy giant, as it were, as the community in general here at the UK has finally woken up, and it's miffed. So here we go. Truth, knowledge, and wisdom for this spread, please. Truth, knowledge, wisdom for this spread, please. So no matter what they're going to say, and no matter what they do, they're gonna lose a lot of money, and they'll probably backtrack. It feels like within 10 days after this statement of my arm just literally slipped off my seat here. I've got a new seat coming. There was one in the Black Friday deal, one of those ergonomic things. I've treated myself, and because of YouTube, famous now, and I'm getting pennies and things. So I've bought. So this is probably the last time I'm going to be in this chair, as I'm falling off this very kind of weird, very boring kind of pleather chair thing. Oh, I'm gonna be sitting here like on a cloud, probably in the next couple of days when you next see me at some point, but probably by Friday, by the time it's delivered and stuff and set up. I'm very excited, because I'm just saying that to myself because it actually hurt my funny bone when I fell off. I'm basically covering the pain of it, my bony elbow just being on my armrest there. Natural disaster. This is the winds of change. Yeah, this is the Mary Poppins card in this deck. Lovely. The frustration, the winds of change. They're committed. They're trying to commit to this thing, but they're caught in their own BS with the straps here. It's like, no, we've committed, we've bought it, we're going to be distributing it to our farmers soon and all that kind of stuff. This money that we've invested, blah 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 stuff, reasons and malarkey. It feels like 10 days. And as I record this, it would be kind of I'm just trying to double check the date. The 2nd of December. You're going to see this on the 3rd of December, I would say within 10 days, by the lack of money coming in, because people aren't buying the products anymore, including things like Lurpak and all. The amount that I know, well, indoors knows, I should say, more about the different products that Arla now produce than ever before. Seriously, it's like, we can't have that type of butter, we can't have that type of thing, we can't have this, that malarkey, we can't have that yogurt, we can't have that thing, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, I just want food, my darling, please. Can I just get nourishment? That's all I ask. As I'm pushing around this empty trolley around Aldi earlier on, it's like, can we just put something in here? It's very empty. Can't have the cheese, can't have that. But they're stuck in it. And they're going to try and spin this, and they've already, released a statement going, basically, you're all fools. How dare you question the science? Just wait until it hits the money, right? And their income and their stock goes down and all that malarkey. Then they'll be suddenly their tail between their legs, but it'll be too late. The done is done. 3 of cups of this deck. Indulgence, the celebrations. Hence why we're moving on to the as a community, moving on to the next cause and holding more people to account. Self-love, because it's all about self-love, self-care, self-respect, self-worth. It's the 4 S's that I keep on bashing on about. Self-love, self-care, self-respect, self-worth. This is the change, baby. This is what's happening. And the care keeps coming up. And is that justice underneath there? No, that's friendship. That's the dark blue one I was seeing. Justice, that was peeping out. But yeah, because it's not about the goalposts have changed, and it's not. I think the biggest takeaway from this is the goalposts have kept on changing, decreed from up high. This is what we're talking about now with the Pluto in Aquarius. The goalposts have changed, but it's us, you and me, doing it, not them decreeing it. I would just mainly because I've got to do some filings at some point. I got a random email from Companies House talking about some stuff and the changes that are being rolled out for businesses. And I wonder if that's going to be a thing that will be, because I was like, I don't know anything about this kind of, you have to verify now and all that kind of stuff. It's like, how do you verify if, because it's like you get a driving license, but that's the government telling you, but you've still told them that it's you. Does that make sense? It's like a passport. You've told them it's you, and they've just given you a laminated page in a book. So how do you verify yourself? Do you see what I mean? It's just like, but, it's only because, anyway, it's stupid, and it like needs to be looked into. But I like this, looking after each other, that supporting each other, that caring for each other, that community, from the family outward to the community, outward further. This is where it starts, baby. It's beautiful. Underlying energy. And this is the online community about it. Kind of holding people accountable. This is why you're seeing more and more people being visited to shut up this kind of erosion of powers on social media, because people are not stopping anymore. Enough's enough. Lovely, 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 lovely. So I hope this resonates for you. It's going to work out well. They're going to lose a phenomenal amount of money. A good amount of people are going to be fired from the company. The stock's going to go down. It's going to take them about 10 days before they'll be backpedaling on this decision, but people will not change. They're like, right, we're going to go to a different brand of butter. Instead of Lurpak, even though it's yummy, we're going to go elsewhere. Instead of this cheese, we're going to go this one. Because it'll be like I said, about 10 days. At like 2 weeks at a push, right? But it feels more about 10 days. That's at least one weekly shop. That's enough to lock in the change. Do you see what I'm saying? So now it's like that, we get that one now. Do you see what I mean? It's like we get that milk now, we get that cheese now, we get that yogurt now, we get that. It's enough time for them to royally screw themselves over because it's locked in, everyone's decisions. So, something to look forward to. Thank you to everybody who bullied me into doing this reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please thumb me like. That'd be glorious. And comment down below your comments for future readings, that kind of stuff, and vote up like other people did here. 115 of you, bloody hell. Please subscribe and ding-a-ling that bell if you're new. And until next time, where we do this crazy shenanigans all over again, take care. Look after yourself. Be well. And thank you for your company. I'll speak to you soon. See you later. Ta-ra.